Sunday, June 5th, Family Troubles. Jacob has, at last, settled in the land. While Isaac was only a stranger, the text also says that Jacob dwelt in the land. Genesis 37:1. Yet, it was then, as he was settling into the land, that the troubles began, this time from inside the family. The controversy does not concern the possession of the land or the use of a well. It is mainly spiritual. Genesis 37:1-11 says, Jacob continued to dwell in the land of Canaan, where his father had lived as a foreigner. This is the history of Jacob. When Joseph was 17 years old, the young man was tending the flock with the sons of Bilhah and the sons of Zilpah, the wives of his father. And Joseph brought a bad report about them to their father. Now Israel loved Joseph more than all his other sons because he was the son of his old age, and he had a special robe made for him. When his brothers saw that their father loved him more than all his brothers, they began to hate him, and they could not speak peaceably to him. Later, Joseph had a dream and told it to his brothers, and they found further reason to hate him. He said to them, "Please listen to this dream that I had. There were binding sheaves in the middle of the field, when my sheaf got up and stood erect, and your sheaves encircled and bowed down to my sheaf." His brother said to him, "Are you really going to make yourself king over us and dominate us?" So they found another reason to hate him because of his dreams and what he said. After that, he had still another dream, and he related it to his brothers. "I have had another dream. This time the sun and the moon and 11 stars were bowing down to me." Then he related it to his father as well as his brothers. And his father rebuked him and said to him, "What is the meaning of this dream of yours? Am I, as well as your mother and your brothers, really going to come and bow down to the earth to you?" And his brothers grew jealous of him, but his father kept the saying in mind. What family dynamic predisposed Joseph's brothers to hate him so much? From the very beginning, we understand that Joseph, the son of Jacob's old age, Genesis 37:3, enjoyed a special relationship with his father, who loved him more than all his brothers, Genesis 37:4. Jacob even went so far as to make Joseph a tunic of many colors, Genesis 37:3, a prince's garment, 2 Samuel 13:18, an indication of Jacob's secret intention to elevate Joseph, Rachel's first son, to the status of firstborn. The future will indeed confirm Jacob's wishes, because Joseph eventually will receive the rights of the firstborn. 1 Chronicles 5:2. No wonder, then, that Joseph's brothers hated him so much and could not even engage in peaceful conversations with him. Genesis 37:4. Furthermore, Joseph would bring bad reports to his father about any reprehensible behavior from his brothers. Genesis 37:2. No one likes a snitch. So, when Joseph shared his dreams, suggesting that God would put him in a higher position and that day his brothers would bow before him, they hated him even more. The genuine prophetic character of the dreams was even ratified by the fact that they are repeated, Genesis 41:32. Although Jacob openly rebuked his son, Genesis 37:10, he kept this incident in his mind, meditating on its meaning and waiting for its fulfillment. Genesis 37:11. The implication is that, perhaps, deep down, he thought there might be something to these dreams after all. He was right, however much he couldn't know at the time. Read Matthew 20:26-27. What crucial principle is revealed here, and how can we learn to manifest in our own lives what it teaches? From the book Patriarchs and Prophets, page 209, it says, "The sin of Jacob and the train of events to which it led had not failed to exert an influence for evil, an influence that revealed its bitter fruit in the character and life of his sons. As these sons arrived at manhood, they developed serious faults. The results of polygamy were manifest in the household. This terrible evil tends to dry up the very springs of love, and its influence weakens the most sacred ties. The jealousy of the several mothers had embittered the family relation. The children had grown up contentious and impatient of control, and the father's life was darkened with anxiety and grief. There was one, however, of a widely different character, the elder son of Rachel, Joseph, whose rare personal beauty seemed but to reflect an inward beauty of mind and heart. His mother being dead, his affections clung the more closely to the father, and Jacob's heart was bound up in this child of his old age. He loved Joseph more than all his children. But even this affection was to become a cause of trouble and sorrow. Jacob unwisely manifested his preference for Joseph, and this excited the jealousy of his other sons. From the book Spiritual Gifts, Volume 3, page 138, it says, "Joseph listened to his father's instructions and feared the Lord. He was more obedient to his father's righteous teachings than any of his brethren. He treasured his instructions and, with integrity of heart, loved to obey God. He was grieved at the wrong conduct of some of his brethren, and meekly entreated them to pursue a righteous course and leave off their wicked acts. This only embittered them against him. His hatred of sin was such that he could not endure to see his brethren sinning against God. He laid the matter before his father, hoping that his authority might reform them. This exposure of their wrongs enraged his brethren against him. They had observed their father's strong love for Joseph and were envious at him. Their envy grew into hatred and finally to murder." God bless.